So at this point in the game, we go to Brett turn 2, and I'm thinking this is going to be a really hard uphill battle. I mean, really tough. So let's start off by charging the corpse cart on the hill, and I get 10 inches free, and then I need a 6 to get there, and I don't get it. So I fail charge with my Pegasus Knights. I'm within sight of his Graveguard, and so there's a chance he's going to charge me and kill me because I can't roll a 6 using 2 of 3 dice. The Lord rallies. Here I decide the best thing to do is just go ahead and charge. I'm not going to get rank bonuses, but I'm just going to have to find a way to deal with it. My Questy Knights should be able to handle that Necromancer very easily. I won't get an overrun into the skeletons, but at least I'll be able to reform. The Knights Errant against the Vargolf they have strength 6 in the charge, so as long as he doesn't make all of his regen saves, I feel pretty good about what I'll be able to do there. Another thing to keep in mind is that tower at the top gives any unit within 6 inches, I want to say hatred and frenzy if you're from the forces of destruction. So that came up to be an interesting rules question later, as Vargolf already had hatred and frenzy, but you're going to get it pretty much every turn, I think, if you're near that tower. And one thing, the question that came up about the skeletons was, at the start of combat, he was with 6 inches. After I kill a bunch of them, he was outside of 6 inches. But there was a question of whether or not you still get those benefits, because when you start a combat, you were there. So anyway, land a rock on top of this unit, kill some of them. Kill a, I do about what I expect. Kill a bunch of skeletons. I don't break them. I reform to get more attacks since I don't get rank bonuses anyway. Between wounds and combat res, I do 2 wounds on the Vargolf. So it looks like he did some wounds on me, but that's how it came out. Questy Knights are ready for a counter charge on their turn. And we go to their turn. So nothing really changes on this side of the board. We're still just locked in combat. And keep in mind, when I charged in on that river, I had to take dangerous terrain. And every time I move around here, if I pursue, if I do anything on the water or the woods, I'm taking dangerous terrain tests. His general's unit, he decides not to worry about my general. His plan is to march his zombies up and then Van Hels them. And so just to get them to deal with my general, which I think is a pretty good plan because he just has so much combat res there. Far right, I think he needed a good roll and he got it. So goodbye to my Pegasus Knights. During his magic phase, he Van Hels his general's unit into my my Questy Knights. I choose to flee, and I think I would have done it anyway. But one rule that I messed up on is I forgot that in order to rally them, I would need double ones because they're under 25% of their starting size, and I just wasn't thinking it the whole time. So I chose to flee, took dangerous terrain. I think I started with 4, and I lost 2 guys to dangerous terrain test. But I took 1 test for the water, 1 test for the woods, 1 test for the enemy unit. So losing 2 was not unexpected at that point. Yeah, I don't know why I have multiple pictures there. So the house puts a wound on the corpse cart, which was nice. These guys chase off my Pegasus Knights, which was expected. And after the battle, nothing much has changed. We're all still there. So we go to Brett turn 3. The general attempts. I try to charge his general's unit with my Pegasus Knights and my general, kind of just out of desperation. I really don't need that skeleton unit to get into the flank of my knights, and both of them failed their test. Now, in fairness, I needed a good die roll, so I can't really complain about it too much. But I was hoping to get all those in there to hold them up a little bit so that my main blocks of knights wouldn't get in the side next turn. The Questy Knights rally, which they shouldn't have, but what you going to do. And you notice his skeletons are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So VC turn 4, he's moving up here as you can see. He gets the flank charge in, and I think that's probably the game. That's not something you want to see there. The Haunted Mansion kills the Necromancer, puts another wound on the corpse cart. That Haunted Mansion, I think, has killed more things this game than I have. I mean, that's doing some damage. Luckily here, with all those attacks, he's got 2 vampires in that rightmost unit and another vampire in the front unit. With all those attacks, I only lose 2 or 3 guys, and I felt very, very fortunate. So on my turn, I charge the Questy Knights in the back. I lose a guy to the dangerous terrain test. I'm starting to get tired of that. I charge the Knights Errant into the flank of that unit, and I charged my Pegasus Knights into the side of the other unit. And obviously this picture is taken after combat because his skeletons are all gone. I did a massive amount of wounds. His two vampires together, I think, only did 1 wound on my Knights of the Realm, which I think, yeah, we were in a challenge with his lord against my Pegasus Knights, and he put a wound on me but didn't kill me. So that's why there weren't more wounds done, I think. But his skeletons, between wounds in combat and then wounds through combat res, all popped. So there's nothing in front of me now, and he's got those 2 vampires on the right. I think at this point he was a little bit frustrated because the dice really went my way here, and we started getting just a little bit fast because it was time to close the stores. So I think there might have been a wound on his lord through combat res, but I'm not sure, or a wound on one of those guys through combat res. Land of Rock and the zombies, take them down. Now if they charge my general, it's not quite such a bad thing. His turn, Wind of Undeath goes off, and he's able to raise Spirit Hosts and then Van Hels them into battle. They Van Helsed into my Questy Knights, and I fled with the guy. And then I did remember that he won't rally except on double 1, so he's gone, and they go into this combat, which isn't a big deal really, because I think I'm going to pop him anyway. He Van Hels the zombie unit to my lord. I thought I probably could stay there and win that, but it just wasn't worth it to me to take the chance that I'd lose by combat res, so I just fled. I knew I wouldn't go off the board. I'm pretty sure I'll rally. And at the end of it, we had to stop. We were just flat out of time. It was funny, though, because I could tell he was nervous that he was going to lose his general to combat res, and if not right now, fairly soon he would, especially when I got my Knights Errant in there and got a charge and, you know, a rank or whatever. I was nervous that his vampires were going to chop through me. So I really think this could have gone either way. As it was, the game was a draw, and probably the way it should be. It was a hard-fought game. So there's a tie. Hope you enjoyed it.